माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म, हाँ माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म।
Yes, continue. You are continue. Micro. You are trying to define the term microbiology. You are right.
The biology in which we study about the microorganism.
Yes, it is the branch of science, the branch of biological science which deals with the study of microorganisms constitute microbiology. And now the question arises, what microbes are? What microbes are? You can use the term microbes or microorganisms. Both are the similar terms. You can use the term microorganisms or microbes. Microorganisms are such smaller organisms which cannot be seen without the help of
naked eyes.
Are called microbes. They can only be seen with the help of
microscope. Yes.
Such living organisms which cannot be seen without the help of microscope or microscope are called microorganisms. These microorganisms have been broadly classified into three types: the prokaryotic microorganisms, mesokaryotic microorganisms, and eukaryotic microorganisms. Varisat, let me know the some examples of the prokaryotic. Can you cite the examples, some examples of the prokaryotic microorganisms, Alisa?
Yes, sir. Amoeba.
No, amoeba are not prokaryotes. Amoeba is not prokaryotes. Hydra is not prokaryote. They are the eukaryotes. Then let me know what are the examples of the prokaryotic microorganisms.
Examples prokaryotic.
प्रोकैरियोटिक का एग्जांपल आई थिंक ये होगा, इसको बोलते yeast.
Let me know. Just I am going to provide you the examples. The prokaryotic microorganisms include bacteria, cyanobacteria, mycoplasma, rickettsia, and chlamydia. These are the five types of the organisms which constitute the prokaryotic microorganisms. Again, I am again repeating the names, repeating the examples of the prokaryotic microorganisms. Bacteria, cyanobacteria, mycoplasma, rickettsia, and chlamydia. These are the five classes of the prokaryotic organisms which are microbes, and they have been included in the monerans. They are considered as they are the monerans. And the eukaryote. As far the examples of the eukaryotic microorganisms are concerned, eukaryotic microorganisms include protozoans. You have just provided the example. You have amoeba, entamoeba histolytica, trypanosoma, plasmodium. These are the examples of the protozoans, and protozoans are the examples of the eukaryotic microorganisms. And the eukaryotic microorganisms also include unicellular algae, and unicellular fungi like Chlamydomonas, chlorella. These are the Chlamydomonas. I am talking about the Chlamydomonas is a unicellular green alga. Chlorella is a unicellular green alga, and these alga are the eukaryotic, but you cannot see them without the help of microscope. Therefore, they are the microscopic. So these the unicellular algae, unicellular fungi, and the protozoans constitute the eukaryotic microorganisms. On the other hand, bacteria, cyanobacteria, mycoplasma, rickettsia, and chlamydia are the examples of the prokaryotic microorganisms. And as far the bacteria are concerned, bacteria are of two types: archaebacteria and eubacteria. Archaebacteria are the ancient bacteria, primitive. Archaebacteria and bacteria are divided into two categories: Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. Eubacteria are the true bacteria, and Archaebacteria are the ancient bacteria. And these Archaebacteria include three categories, like methanogenic Archaebacteria, halophilic Archaebacteria, and thermoacidophilic Archaebacteria. The Archaebacteria, which are the ancient bacteria, include the methanogens, halophiles, methanogens, halophiles, and thermoacidophiles. You can say like that: methanogenic Archaebacteria, halophilic Archaebacteria, and thermoacidophilic Archaebacteria. So the bacteria include the Archaebacteria and the Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. The cyanobacteria are the blue-green algae. Blue-green algae are also known as the cyanobacteria. So these the second one is the cyanobacteria. The third group include the mycoplasma. You know that the mycoplasma include the two types: PPLO, pleuropneumonia-like organism, and MLO, molecule-like organisms. And the fourth one is the rickettsias, and the fifth one is the chlamydias. So these are the 5 groups of the microorganisms which are the examples of the prokaryotic microorganisms. And on the other hand, the protozoans, which you have to study in the zoology, protozoa like amoeba, ant amoeba histolytica, trypanosoma, plasmodium, all these and many more all protozoans are the unicellular. You know, amoeba, ant amoeba, plasmodium, trypanosoma, all are the protozoans are the unicellular. So these are the eukaryote. Amoeba is not prokaryote. Amoeba is the eukaryote. Therefore, they constitute the example of the eukaryotic microorganisms. Okay? And similarly, if you are studying the yeast, what is yeast? You have studied the yeast, unicellular fungus. Unicellular fungus is the yeast. Botanically, it is known as Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So this is the yeast, and yeast is the unicellular fungus, and it is also an example of eukaryotic microorganisms. Chlamydomonas, chlorella, which are the green unicellular alga, are also examples of the eukaryotic microorganisms. So these are the study of all these microorganisms constitute the microbiology. And now the microbiology has various branches, like the general microbiology, industrial if you are using the microbes to produce the some chemicals, like if you are studying the wine, if you are studying the if you are preparing or manufacturing the vinegar, fermentation karakar, if you are making the vinegar, if you are making wine or alcohol, then this, and if you are using the microbes in the making the curd and other such micro food products, then you can say that you are studying the industrial microbiology. If you are using the microbes in obtaining the ores, obtaining the minerals, then you can say that you are studying the industrial microbiology. If you are using the microbes in the leather technology, leather industry, you can say that you are studying the industrial microbiology. And the food microbiology, if you are using the microbes in the preparation of some food, you can say that you are studying the
yes, sir.
Lactobacillus.
Yes, yeast is
in the formation of curd.
Yes. So this is if you are you know that there is a use of microbiology and microbes in the dairy technology. Okay, you know that all the dairy have microbiologists. In the Sudha Dairy here also, if you visit the Sudha Dairy, our students, our biotech students go to the Sudha Dairy for the training and project. This dairy has at least one technician specializing in microbiology, and there is a microbiologist. And microbiology has also a very great scope and job opportunity. If you do your BSc and MSc in microbiology, you can get very good job opportunities in the industry like the food technology, dairy technology, and fermentation technology. So microbiology is also a very promising branch of the biological sciences. But unfortunately, in botany subsidiary, you have to study a very only 1 or 2 topics of the microbiology. have been included, like you have to study the bacteriology and bacteria, structure and reproduction in bacteria, ultrastructure of bacterial cell, and reproduction in bacteria, and genetic recombination in bacteria. Similarly, you have to study the viruses and application of a very simple question is asked in subsidiary paper. Discuss the role of the bacteria in industry, or discuss various economic importance of bacteria, or describe the ultrastructure of bacterial cell and reproduction in bacteria. So these are the very simple questions. तो इस तरह से today you have to study two very important chapters in this microbiology. You have to study the viruses and bacteria. Now let us switch over to the I have mentioned the name of the various microorganisms like bacteria, cyanobacteria, and all these things. But you'll be surprised to know that viruses are also studied in microbiology. Why viruses are, you know that viruses are connecting link between the living and non-living. Viruses are kya? Viruses are the connect. Viruses act as a bridge. Act as a bridge between the living and non-living, because they share properties with both the living and non-living. Therefore, they are called kya? They are called connecting link between the living. When the viruses remain outside the living host cell, they act as non-living, and when they enter your body, they act. When they enter the living cell, they start to act as the living organisms. Therefore, they are said to be having or said to share the properties with both the living and non-living. And this is the reason, that is why the viruses is said to be the connecting link between the living and non-living. So, at first, as far as your syllabus is concerned, syllabus of botany subsidiary is concerned, we will start with the viruses. Okay? We will start, as far microbiology is concerned, at first we will take up the virology, the branch of microbiology which deals with the viruses. And you know that viruses are very important these days, because you know that we are suffering, we are living in the
COVID-19. Yes, sir.
COVID-19. Let me know. Just you have used the term COVID-19. For what does this terminology stand for? Expand this. This is the abbreviated form. This is the
virus was
what is the full form of what is the full form of COVID?
And the year 2019. That's why it is called COVID-19.
Repeat your answer. Repeat your answer, Alisa.
So COVID-19 was observed in the year 2019. That's why it is abbreviated as COVID-19.
Your answer is incomplete, because I am
that's like coronavirus. This 19. Yes, sir.